guys, my name is Carol Hansen, and I'm here today on Kickstarters to tell you a little bit about my book, Darkstar, and how it all came about. A few years ago, I had hit a milestone in my life where my kids were raised, and I was making some decisions about what I was going to do with the rest of my life. And one night I had some things going on, I couldn't sleep, and so I got up and I was sitting in the dark front room and thinking about what I could do. And for some reason, it came to mind, had actually done a few things for my family with writing, but it came to my mind that maybe I should write a book. And when I was a teenager, I know this sounds kind of silly, but me and my friends, we all had these kind of silly nicknames, and my nickname was actually Darkstar. And we all had a symbol, and my symbol was the moon and star, like the one I'm wearing. And so that night, it just kind of came to mind that maybe I ought to write a book, because I always thought that it would be kind of a cool name for a book and whatnot. And so I got a pad of paper and a pen, and I just started writing. And I thought, what kind of book could I write with the name Darkstar? So I knew instantly that it needed to be a fantasy. And with the name Darkstar, you know, I kind of toyed around. There's such a big audience out there right now for fantasy books and for paranormal, and I love them. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge reader. And so I knew that I wanted to do a fantasy, and I knew I didn't want to do vampires and stuff because, you know, there's so many books out there. But one of my friends' nickname actually was Wizard, and I just kind of got playing around with our nicknames. So that's kind of where all this started. And so I got thinking, well, how can I incorporate those into a book? And so I was thinking about when I was in high school, and I was an avid reader, and one of my favorite authors was Victoria Holt, because I loved the mysterious moors of England. I loved the castles and the love stories and whatnot. So that's kind of where I went with it. And so my first chapter, I started writing about Alec, and I made up this boy in the story, and it's about Alec, and he's a 17-year-old boy who one day his mom comes to him and finds out that he is destined to be a wizard, that his older brother, that his grandfather was the Grand Wizard of Warwickshire, England, and his older brother was actually the heir to the wizardry, but because he ended up getting in trouble dabbling in dark magic, he got banned from their wizardry, which is called the Mysticus. Well, Alec wasn't happy about this. He didn't know anything about it, and there's reasons why he didn't know. He was kept sheltered, and you'll find that out in the book, so you have to read it. But he was really frustrated. He was having a hard time dealing with this, and of course Aidan, his older brother, was also having a hard time being kicked out of the wizardry. So Aidan is on this destructive rampage and not doing very nice things. And Alec's mother, Abby, she's really concerned for Alec's safety. And since he's having a hard time and she needs to get him away, she actually sends him to live with his godparents in Utah, in Logan, Utah. And the reason I chose Logan is because I needed a really fun, mystical, magical place for this story to take place. And I spent a lot of time up there. My daughter lived there for 4 years and went to the college up there. My brother lives there, and so I'm quite familiar with the area, and I'm thinking about all of these different areas that I could use in my book. And you know, it just started coming to me, all of these ideas. And so in the story, Alec gets sent to Logan to live temporarily. While he's there, he ends up enrolling in a high school for the first time in his life. He had always had a governess who taught him, and he had a cousin named Nigel that he went to school with. And Nigel had these friends, and one of his friends was a girl named Amory, and she's the other main character in my book. And Amory was quite intrigued with England, with anything from England, because her grandfather, his family had come from England, and and there's reasons for that, you know, why the family came over here. And he had migrated here when his family did. And so Amory grew up hearing stories about England, a lot of stories. Her grandfather would always use this British accent, and she was always just really excited about it. And so anything that had to do with England really just caught her attention. And when she heard that Nigel's cousin was coming to live with them for a little while and that he was from England, she was instantly intrigued. And so when Alec finally comes, and they meet. They have this really cool connection. And Amory has these mysterious dreams, and there's a presence in her dream, and all these different things, you know, and a moon and star. And so you have to know, you know, the book is written around the symbol too, the moon and star. And so Alec and Amory, they have this amazing connection. And it goes from there. It's a love story. It's a mystery. There's a lot of intrigue in it. It's just a really, really good story. And yeah, you'll all have to get it and read it so you can learn more about what I'm talking about.